Mike Pompeo. This is the greatest guy. He and I have so much in common. Thank you. Thank you. I love you too. I'm so honored to be here with y'all today. We have a lot in common. Mike was first in his class at West Point, first in his class. And I was 501st. So we got that in common. It's so great to be here with such a great group of patriots. And let me start with the most fundamental question. Are you ready to fire Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and put President Trump back in the White House? We got to do it, folks. This is the one, right? And the other thing I want to ask you, which is a very important question, are you ready to retire Bob Casey and send Chuck Schumer packing? These guys are killing us, right? This is the most important election of our lifetimes. Us old guys, we remember every election cycle. People say, this is the most important election of our lifetimes. They say it every time. But I want to ask you, can you think of another election where the consequences of getting it wrong were so great? Where the risk of getting the wrong people in place would literally take our country over a cliff where we don't recognize the America we love for our children. That's why this election is the most important of our lifetimes. It really is. It really is. And this choice, it couldn't be more clear. It couldn't be more clear, right? It's the choice at the top of the ticket between strength, the guy you saw at Butler saying, fight, 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 right? And weakness. The weakness of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, where every adversary in the world is testing us, challenging us, because they think we're weak. It's a choice between common sense policies. It's common sense that you can't spend $5 trillion more money and not have sky-high prices, right? It's common sense. We got to unlock our energy sector because Pennsylvania is the 4th largest natural gas reserves in the world. It's common sense. It's common sense. We got to secure that border and stop this incredible scourge of fentanyl that's coming across those borders, killing our innocent children. We heard about it today. It's common sense that the only way we can have peace is to have strength. Our military, the most lethal in the world, and the strength of leadership to make sure our adversaries don't test us. Peace through strength. That's common sense. And Kamala Harris represents the most extreme liberal agenda we've had in modern history. In her own words, she wants to ban fracking, transition energy workers. She wants to have mandatory buybacks of your guns. She wants to have citizenship for illegal immigrants and pay them federal benefits. She wants to defund the police. The other thing she wants to do, which really ticks off my friends where I grew up in Bloomsburg, she wants to reduce your red meat consumption. That's not going to fly. It's not going to fly here in Pennsylvania. Those ideas may work in liberal San Francisco. They don't work right here in Pennsylvania, do they? And the choice for your Senate, and President Trump needs a majority in the Senate. He needs a strong leader from Pennsylvania to get our country back on track. The choice between me and Bob Casey couldn't be more clear. Could not be more clear. It's the choice between an outsider, someone who's a 7th-generation Pennsylvanian, someone who grew up wrestling and playing football in towns like Shikellamy and Chickashinny, North Schuylkill and Selinsgrove, someone who went to West Point, co-captain of the wrestling team, Ranger School, 82nd Airborne Division, Iraq. Someone who's run a company in Pittsburgh that created hundreds of jobs. And my opponent was born with a political spoon in his mouth, right? My mom is from Punxsutawney, so I call him Punxsutawney Bob. I don't want to be disrespectful. I call him Punxsutawney Bob because he's like Punxsutawney Phil. He pops his head up every 6 years for 6 months, makes a bunch of noise, and then he goes right back into his hole. He has been weak. When the bullets start flying, Bob Casey ducks. He ducks every time, and he votes 98.6% of the time with the extreme liberal agenda of Kamala Harris. This is a guy who votes for sanctuary cities, against the Border Patrol. Right now, I'm a father of 6 daughters. He votes for males being able to compete in women's sports. You know, Bob Casey went to the Senate, said he was going to change Washington. Washington changed Bob Casey, right? But here's what really, really ticks me off. I just heard this a couple of weeks ago. Somebody came up to me and they said, you know, I heard you're running for the Casey seat. I said, hell no, I'm not running for the Casey seat. This isn't an entitlement. You don't get the seat because your dad was a famous governor. You got to earn it every day, every election, fighting for the people of Pennsylvania. Now, this is the people's seat, right? This is your seat. This is your seat. And that's why this election is so important. We need the leadership of President Trump in the White House. We need my leadership fighting for you in the United States Senate. And we need you. We need you. We can't get there alone. Last time I ran, I sort of was a little shy. I said, I hope you'll vote for me. I need a lot more than that. If you want to win, if you want to change the direction of the country, I need you to put out your signs. I need you to tell 10 people and tell 10 people. I need you to show up on Election Day if you haven't voted already. I need you to say your prayers because this is a contact sport for those that are in the arena. I need you to fight for this election like your life depends on it. Because it does. And if we do what we say, if we get out there, if we fight until the buzzer blows, if we run through the tape, we get all of us out there to vote, we will look back on this election. And we will look back on Wednesday when we have the results of a new Senate majority and President Trump in the White House, and we will say, Tuesday is the day that we saved America. Tuesday is the day that we saved it for our children. Tuesday is the day that we got America back on the right track and made Pennsylvania great again. God bless you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. Let's go save our country. Thank you.